Red Models, the boy from VA, the Prince, if you didn't already know. But I'm sitting here with my man Tarrice, magnificent photographer, one of the greatest. If you haven't seen his work, you better check it out.
Okay, so what I want to tell the story about the octopus picture. You know, I get asked a lot of questions about that picture all the time, but what really was the case with that, my roommate at the time was William Springfield, and he was shooting a beauty story with the octopus, and I'm sitting there watching it, and he got this Asian girl with octopus arms hanging out of her mouth, and she's got this crazy lip color and all of this, and I was just sitting there like, wow, I can't believe this shit turned out so hot, and I wanna shoot with the octopus too. So he was getting ready to throw it away. So I asked him, can I keep it? So he packed it in a Tupperware container and put it in the freezer. And I was going to actually use it with another model from Red with blue eyes, the French dude. But he wasn't here. So I was just gonna hold on to it till he came. And then they sent me art. Now, I was kind of fed up with agencies sending me models with no clothes. So I said, well, the next motherfucker come up here with no clothes, they gonna wear the octopus. And when Art showed up at the door, he had this little bead backpack. It was about that big. So I knew damn well he ain't had no clothes in it. So, and I knew he wasn't gonna have no clothes. So I took the octopus out of the freezer the day before, thawed it out, went to work, came home, warmed it up with warm water. I had it ready because I knew that he wasn't gonna have no clothes. So when he came in, you know, I did my whole routine where you sit down and we talk for a minute or whatever. And I was like, so what are you gonna wear? And he was like, they told me you was gonna take care of me. And then I just got my happy ass up and went in the kitchen and got the pot with the octopus in it and put it down in front of him and said, this what you gonna wear. Now, what was you thinking when I put that pot in front of you and you looked down and saw?
Man, I didn't know what to think. Honestly, I was a little worried for real. You know, I've always watched the Top Model and see how they shoot with the tarantulas and all that type of stuff. So it was half of me was like, okay, I want to shoot something crazy like this. The idea of it sounded hot, but then there was the other half of me like, that's some nasty, you know what I mean? I ain't about to put that on me.
So, but I had all the poses drawn out. I had it planned out real thoroughly ahead of time. So, and I just told him, I said, well, this is what I'm shooting, whether I shoot it with you or somebody else. So this is what I'm going to do. You don't have to. You can go home. And I just remember Art saying, you know, I already know your work. I've been following you for years. So whatever you want to do with me, let's do it. If you want to hang me butt naked over the fire escape, let's do it. So
I wanted something hot that I ain't never seen in nobody else's book, and that's what I got.
Yep.
Some straight fire, and it's still fire to this day. I get comments on that picture all the time, and I know he gets comments on it all the time. So when I go to his website, it still has the most views, and it's the same on my website. You know, it's just crazy, man. It's just a hot series of pictures and not just one. It's too many, and it's crazy.
Well, the ultimate thing that I was thinking after we shot it, I said, this will be the most important picture in his book, because when he goes to castings, now, see, when you go to a casting, most of the guys and girls have shot with the same photographers, and if they're shooting with a professional testing photographer, they have the same setup, and they do a repeat of the same thing over and over again. And it's not no fault of the photographers. It's what the agencies ask for. And if you're being paid, you're going to give them exactly what they ask for. So, unfortunately, the models are the victims of this, because when they go to castings, they think they got hot pictures, and then they look over at the next person,
and
they have same
stuff.
clothes, same pose, same light, same everything, and it kind of makes what you're doing harder, because now it ain't your book that's gonna sell you. You're gonna have to work really hard to sell yourself. So when I did the octopus thing with art, I was thinking this. This is going to be the most important picture in his book, because it's going to break that monotony of seeing the same thing over and over again for the casting agents. You know, because they thumb through those books like they got doo-doo on the pages. 1, 2, 3, thank you. You know, they go, okay, he shot with this one, that photographer, blah, blah, blah. Oh, this same old shit. Thank you. Bye. So I figured when he go to a casting and they start thumbing through his book and they get to that picture, they're going to stop.
And they're going to ask questions. And the main thing that they ask, oh, what's this? And what do I say? An octopus. Is that real? Yeah. It was real, it stank, it was slimy, it was nasty, everything in the bill, everything you could think of, but we shot it, and it was hot.
You see, and I said that they're going to forget who they just saw before him and compare the next few people that come in after him books to that. And I feel like even if he wasn't right for the casting or the job or whatever, they're going to remember him for something else. And they may not even remember his name. You got to think, when you're going to castings and stuff, you're seeing hundreds of models. And if most of them are shooting with the same photographers, you're seeing the same. Your brain just goes blank, and they'll remember him because he has something that none of the rest of them have. And that's what I do try to do with a lot of the models that I work with. I try to give them something that's going to set them apart from the rest of them. So that was my premise, and that's how I always think when I'm working with art, when I'm working with everybody. I try to give you what you're asking for, but then at the same time put a spin on it to make people remember you, you know, because that's what sets my name apart from the rest of the photographers. Why come to me when you can get the same thing from somebody else and somebody else and somebody else? So I would hope that I'm lucky that people like art trusted my idea and visions enough that they just roll with it. You know, it don't always work, but luckily everything that I tried with art works. So
yeah.
And when y'all see these next joints that we just did, it's in the same. It's in the same realm. I mean, we ain't got no raw animals and meat and shit around, but I think that's really.
I think what he doesn't know is Tarrice made me bigger than what I was when I first got here. I don't think I never told him this, but when I first got to New York, it was a whole new ball game for me. I had to adjust to a lifestyle and a way to dress and all types of stuff. But what I learned quickly after working with Tarrice, I was walking around the streets and I was bumping into models that I did not know, but they knew me. And it's been a year, and I just came back to New York for Fashion Week and of course to work with Tarrice. But just the other day at a fashion show, I had 3 females come to me and say, "Are you art?" Now, I didn't know nothing about these people, but they asked me, "Are you art?" And I said, "Yeah." And they said, "You work with Tarrice?" And I'm like, "Yeah." They like, "I seen your work. That's hot." I ain't gotta ask what they talking about. They talking about that octopus. He didn't know this, but I've been dealing with this for a year. People been coming to me asking me, who am I? And they already know who I am from that octopus picture. So I just wanted you to know that, man. Your work is amazing. And y'all better watch out. It's only a matter of time.
Yeah. Okay. On that note, we're going to close this out because I done turned the air conditioner off and it's getting kind of hot in here.
Toasty.
This is our Stroman. I'm Tarrice Love. Until next time. Peace.